The Red Sabres are loading up. Yeah, no, I know. I was wrong. About both teams somehow. Both the Red Wings and Sabres are in the playoffs. They might even play each other. It's ridiculous. But seriously, the Detroit Red Wings are loading up with a familiar face. The Detroit Red Wings have acquired David Perron from the Ottawa Senators in exchange for a conditional fourth-round pick. Well, what are the conditions? Well, it could become a first, right? In theory, yes. In this case, no. From Chris Johnston of SDPN fame, and probably nowhere else. I don't know. Maybe. Check your television tomorrow. The Sens have traded David Perron to Detroit for a conditional pick. The pick conditions, per the Sens, if Perron plays a game before the end of the regular season or during the playoffs, Ottawa receives a 2026 fourth rounder. If the Red Wings advance to second round and Perron appears in 50% of first round games, Ottawa receives a 2026 third. An interesting deal. I kind of like it for both teams. The Ottawa Senators are definitely up to something. I mean, they obviously traded for Warren Foegele. They essentially bought at the deadline despite being on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. And this deal is a pure sell. You're trading a roster player for a draft pick. That's a sell. We can all agree that the Sens are in this weird no man's land. You can't really blame them for buying. You can't really blame them for selling. They're kind of doing what they should be doing, which is just good business. Okay, we have a 37-year-old on an expiring contract. We should probably trade that guy. And there's a younger player who we have control over because he's signed to a contract for next season, Warren Foegele. Okay, let's get that guy. The Sens could still make the playoffs this season, and even if they don't, I think they're in a pretty good spot. Most people agree. They're a good team. They were just let down by goaltending this season. Yeah, goaltending is part of your team. I get it, but I mean, David Perron is exactly the kind of player you want heading into the playoffs. That guy is a pain. And Red Wings fans know that. He's tough. He's nasty. He got that big old suspension a little while ago, and he still puts up the points. After 27 goals and 57 points with the St. Louis Blues, Perron joined the Detroit Red Wings for two really good seasons of 82 and 76 games. He had 24 and 17 goals. He had 56 and 47 points. That's a really useful player. Last year with the Sens, to say it went poorly would be quite the understatement. In 43 games, 9 goals, which is fine, 7 assists, 16 points. That's way below what you would expect for Perron. But once the playoffs rolled around, even though Ottawa didn't win their first round series, he had 2 goals and an assist for 3 points in 6 games. Again, that's useful. So what's he been like this season? Much better. In 49 games, he has 10 goals, 15 assists for 25 points. That's 10 goals up from 9, 15 assists up from 7, and 25 points up from 16. Even 49 games up from 43. Even +2 up from a -7. Everything has been going better for David Perron this season. One of the things you really see teams struggle with coming out of the trade deadline, it's almost not even about what players you got or how much you gave up to get them. It's just how well do they fit in? Because once the trade deadline passes, how many games do you really have left before the playoffs? There's the trying to figure everything out games. Then maybe you hit your stride. Then you're just trying not to get hurt, and maybe you're even resting guys in the past, in the last couple games. How many ideal games did you really play with your new team? It's not a lot. With David Perron, he should fit in just fine. He played with most of these guys. He was a Red Wing 2 years ago. Just looking at the roster, geez, most of these guys were there. Maybe some of the young ones, not as much. Maybe most importantly, the head coach at the time was different. It was Derek Lalonde and not Todd McClellan. I'm not sure what there isn't to like here for Detroit. I mean, you're giving up a conditional fourth. You could just make your peace with the fact that it's a third, right? Now, it should be mentioned that Puckpedia currently has Perron listed on the IR. But I have a very hard time believing that Detroit would trade for this player, who they know, without having some sort of assurance that, yeah, he's going to play hockey games for our hockey team. You know what I mean? Now, would you trade for a player on IR if you didn't already know him? Maybe not. Again, it's really difficult to adjust to having a new team. But with Perron, you can be fairly confident that there's going to be less of an adjustment than there would be with most guys because he was just a Red Wing a hot minute ago. Now, for any Red Wings fans or Senators fans who are interested in learning more about this trade, there's going to be a new episode of Agent Provocateur recorded this weekend. That's with Adam Wilde of SDPN and Alan Walsh, who is David Perron's agent. In fact, we have had David Perron on the actual show, Agent Provocateur. If that sounds appealing to you, we actually recently uploaded an episode of Agent Provocateur on the SDPN YouTube channel. We also have a new episode of the Chris Johnston Show that's also up in the SDPN YouTube channel. That's one of the best insiders in the game, if not the best. And a billion videos. An actual billion video. Comment below if you've watched all of them for the trade deadline. You're a sicko, and I love you, but you're a sicko, but I love you. But overall, down in the comments, let me know what you think. Do you have any reservations about the player being on IR? Or are you cool and you're excited? On the Sens end of things, are you a little confused? Are we buying? Are we selling? What's going on? But for now, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have a live stream on the SDPN YouTube channel recapping everything from the 2026 NHL trade deadline.
Hey, did you like the thing you just watched?
Was it hilarious?
Was it informative?
Was it me losing my mind?
Possibly. Potentially. Most of the time it is. Hey, listen, if you like what SDPN has to offer, you should check out more of our videos and subscribe to our channel by clicking subscribe, or Steve will find you.